Hi there. Thanks for watching. This is Pencil Sharpening with Ben. Today we're going to be going over two of my favorite pencil sharpening techniques, taken from How to Sharpen Pencils by David Rees, who's the world's #1, #2 pencil sharpener. And this book really is the holy Bible of pencil sharpening. So the first technique will be sharpening with a knife, handheld knife, which is one of the more subjective forms of pencil sharpening. And the second technique we'll be going over is using a handheld single blade sharpener. As you can see, I already have an apron on. Just like any craftsman, you need to protect your clothes. Don't want to get your shirt soiled with the graphite from your pencil. And of course, eye protection. One of the most important pieces of the pencil sharpening business. So we're going to put this on. So, first technique we're going to go with tonight is sharpening with a blade, handheld. This is really one of the oldest forms of pencil sharpening, one of the oldest techniques. People in colonial times didn't really have your handheld sharpeners, so this is the only one that, the only kind of way they could sharpen their pencils. So, now remember, before using a knife, knives are very dangerous, so be sure to get your parents' permission before using them. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure you're holding a knife in your dominant hand and the pencil in your non-dominant hand. So the way I like to remember that is knife in the dominant hand, pencil in the non-dominant hand. We are going to go ahead and start. So what you're going to first want to do is just expose the cedar of the pencil, which means stripping away the paint on the pencil. So we're just going to do that. You want to make more flat strokes. You don't want to be cutting into the wood. You want to just be stripping away the paint. Now that you have the paint stripped away and you have the cedar fully exposed, you're going to want to start creating your point. So you're going to take the knife and you're going to do more angled and more pressured cuts down. And just keep going around. So we're going to start doing that. So, creating the point you want is really a very subjective experience. Sometimes you may want a little duller point, maybe you want a sharper point. And it's really up to you to decide when to stop when you've created the point that you want. And so that's what we've got there. That's what you can end up with. If you want a sharper point, you can keep going with it. If you want a longer point, there are various different ways to do that. And that's it. For our next technique, we're going to go over using a handheld single blade sharpener. One of the more familiar sharpeners to many of our viewers. This is, may bring back a lot of memories of, grade school sharpening your pencils there. So the first thing you want to do is take the pencil, this time in your dominant hand, and the sharpener in your non-dominant hand. And you're going to want to slowly introduce the pencil into the sharpener. This is very important that you keep it very slow, maintained, calm and steady. You want to take short, shallow breaths, very controlled, because this is a very detailed and intensive process. So you're going to turn the pencil with your dominant hand. You do not turn the sharpener, you turn the pencil. And you're going to just want to keep turning it, applying about 20 to 25 newtons of force. It's really up to you what kind of point you want. And this technique is known to produce one of the more nostalgic parts of pencil sharpening, the familiar ribbon shavings that we've all come to love. Just keep steady force. After every so often you're going to want to take the pencil out to inspect your point and make sure that you haven't gone too far, or that to see if you need to go further. This point seems to be very well shapen, though if you want a sharper point, perhaps you might want to introduce it into the sharpener again and keep going with it. So this point is done. As you can see, it has a more smoother and not as jagged collar bottom right there, as this is a more controlled and more objective pencil sharpening technique. It's not as visceral as using a knife to sharpen a pencil. And so that'll do it. There's your finished product. So that'll do it today for pencil sharpening with Ben. I want to thank you all for bearing with me there. And, you know, just definitely stay with pencil sharpening. It really opens you up to a world of opportunity. Remember, kids, never be dull and always stay sharp. Thanks for tuning in.